What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today is a good day. I'm back out in the woods again. I'm looking for some more sheds. I hope everybody else is having a good day. It's been a great day so far for me, and it's kind of just getting started. The place I'm going today is on the main farm where I've been finding a lot of the sheds, but I've got a really long hike. So I'm dressed real light today. It's not terribly cold today. It's probably 30 degrees and not much wind. And it's actually overcast, which is nice. I kind of like overcast for shed hunting. It casts less shadows and seems like the sheds just pop out. Today's kind of a dreary day, so it's not bad at all. But yeah, I'm gonna be heading to another part of the farm. I've got a long walk. It's probably gonna take me at least 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get there. Typically, I can park over there, but today I decided I'd just walk because I want to check a few spots on the way. Well, probably on the way back. I don't think I'll check them on the way, but it's going to be quite a hike. So yeah, I'm dressed light, a little bit cold now, but I'll be huffing and puffing here shortly. You can see some of the terrain. I don't know if it really shows on camera. Typically it doesn't, but pretty steep stuff, at least for me. It's quite a grind and good exercise. But anyways, if I find something on the way over there, I'll show you guys. Otherwise, I will pick it up when I get over to that area that I want to search for sheds. The way I've been tackling this lately is, and the way I typically do it is kind of section off a piece and then just search that one chunk and then move on to another piece that looks promising or that I think is promising, and then I'll search that chunk as well. So I don't really go after, just aimlessly wandering around. I've done that in the past and I never really find a whole heck of a lot because I probably don't cover one good area enough. But we'll see how it works. And it's been okay so far. I've been mainly in one small piece of the farm, and that's where I found all the sheds in the last few videos you guys can see. But anyway, here we go. We'll go head over there and see what we can find. I don't know if you guys could see the flags there, but just bumped up a whole bunch of deer. They seem to like to bed on this. I've mentioned it before, but it's a south-facing slope, and it's fairly thick behind them, and I think they get good wind here blowing over their back so they can face south and see a long ways. And they were just bedded right there. It's typically where I catch them. I try not to come through here if I'm hunting at all, because if you're not really quiet and the wind's not perfect, you just have a tendency to bump deer, and that just messes up your whole hunt. So I've been trying to come in a different way, but today I figured I'd just cruise this trail. This is a road that we've got cut in. It used to be an old tractor road, I think, or something, but we cut it in a couple years ago or cleaned it out, and we use it to get our small tractor up for food plots and our side-by-sides to be able to pull stands and food plot, stuff like that. And it works pretty well, but I can see already these are just a few small trees, but there are a bunch of bigger ones down. So I'll be doing some chainsaw work here soon. That'll be a little interesting. It's something that I expect every year because of the proximity of the trees on the side of the trail. It just gets a lot of dead stuff blown down on it. But part of property management, I guess, is keeping the trails open and working on that stuff. And it's actually fun. I enjoy it. It's something that we like to do. Well guys, I know I said I was going to head straight over to the area of the farm I wanted to look today, but I just couldn't pass up some of this good looking stuff here where I found a bunch of sheds in the past. Figure I'll hit it now on the way over quick, and then on the way back I can look it over a little bit better. If I kind of turn you around here, you can see what I'm dealing with. This is up on top of the ridge, and I think it used to be an old field or pasture. It's really grown up now. There are some openings here and there. We do have several food plots up here, but I'll point you down at the ground. You can see why it is a good spot for shed hunting. This is all deer droppings, just loaded everywhere, and it's close proximity again to another cornfield or pick cornfield. So they go in there and eat, and they come back in to stick stuff in bed. It's just a really good spot. It seems like I find a decent amount of sheds up here. So I figured I'd just check it out right now quick, and then hit it again real good on the way back out. And I'll probably come back in here a couple more times. There's just too much to look at as far as size of the area. really good sized chunk. There's probably a solid 20 acres or 30 acres of this stuff up on top that's like this. It's a good hunting area too if you can get in cleanly. We do have a couple roads like I showed you that you can get up on here okay, and I usually try to sneak in those or one of the trails depending on the wind direction. It really all depends on the wind, I guess. Usually I can get in fairly quietly, but if you can't get in without bumping them with your wind, then it doesn't really do any good. But yeah, I'm gonna look this over real quick and see if I can find something. There's a lot of sign here, a lot of rubs, tons of scrapes. There's like a little rub here but it's just shredded up. I find them all over the place up here. So I'm just gonna kind of look this over quick and then head over to the other area of the farm. I've still got another half a mile, I think, almost as the crow flies. This will be a little bit of a hike yet, but maybe I'll find something on the way. If I do, I'll show you guys. I'm still working my way over to where I want to do the main shed hunting today, and this is just one of the spots I wanted to show you guys. I don't know if you can see this rub on this birch tree behind me. It's a pretty good rub, and I've seen a bunch on the way in here, a lot of good sign. But this is a spot where I think is a good buck bedding area. I found some really nice beds out here before, and I think it's a really good spot for bucks to bed out on this point. I usually don't find a lot of beds, but I'll find maybe one or two, and it'll be a big one and consistently used. And I never come out here at all during even close to season. This is the only time of the year I'll check it out. But it's the way it sets up, it's on a point, and then that terrain on 3 sides drops right off, like way down. It's real steep and rugged, and I think that's just a good spot on like maybe a west wind. The wind blows off this through these briars and thick nasty stuff, and then out over this bed and then down into the valley. And the deer could see a long ways. It comes up the other side, and there's a ridge going there where they could see something coming, and they'd really hear something coming through this brush and briars and bramble back here. So it's a really cool spot. I did come out here. I haven't seen anything yet as far as sheds, but some real good deer sign. So I'm pretty sure they're still using it as a nice bedding area. Well, here's some sort of a den here. This is something I knew about and check once in a while, and I swear I've seen a lot of coyote tracks in it before. But I really don't know for sure what's in there, and I haven't been brave enough to like try to crawl back in and look. I'm not sure if it's even being used now. It probably is. I don't see any real fresh tracks, but it did rain last night. I do see some, looks like maybe pine cones or something here chewed up. But it's been an active den. I always thought that's one of the coyote dens maybe that I'm seeing, since I did see a lot of tracks there before, and it may be. I'm going to keep this in mind. I always kind of think that somewhere around here, maybe in the open up there, not far, would be a good spot to set up and try to call and see if I could pull them out of here. I'm sure it would certainly be a decent spot to trap right around here and see what was in there. But yeah, I just think it's kind of interesting. Something I always kind of come and check out and see if I can see any activity. I've never seen anything go in and out or anything like that. I'm sure they can hear me coming. But kind of cool nonetheless. Well, I'm almost there. I'm getting close now. I've got one more ridge up here to cross, to go over, and on the other side of that ridge is kind of where I want to do my searching in that valley today. This valley too, I will search this one down a little further. You can kind of see behind me, it's really thick and nasty, and there's a ton of deer sign down here. I've been down in there before and seen 20 rubs, 20 or 30, that I could count standing in one spot, like just looking around and looking at them. And they're all pretty nice ones. I mean, not little pencil size. So I know there's really good deer activity down there. I'm going to go down and check that out. They would like to bed there. It's some more grass, and then it's got some thick, nasty stuff growing up around it, and some evergreens, and also a bunch of poplar trees. And that's where I found all the rubs. But first, I'm going to go up over this ridge here and get to the other side and start looking around in that kind of pasture. It's really nasty. Some places you got to crawl basically to get through it, but there is some open spots and pasture, and I'm thinking that could be good. I don't know. We'll check it out. This is quite an adventure, though. I'm a long ways into it already. I've been walking for, I said 20 minutes when we started, but I think I'm at an hour right now, pretty close to an hour, and I did kind of take my time and pick around. But yeah, it's quite a haul. So I'm gonna go up in there and get over this ridge, and then we'll go down on the other side and see what we can find. Here we go. I finally made it over to some of this stuff that I want to do some scouting in today and shed hunting. And you can see some of this stuff behind me is just nasty. It goes like this for quite a ways, and it's in close proximity to a cornfield up here. So the deer are in here a lot. I've been seeing a lot of tracks already. I just kind of penetrated this. You almost have to close your eyes and put your head down and just run and try to get in. But once you're in, it's not terrible. There are spots though, like I said, where you can't even crawl through it. It's so thick. But I'm gonna kind of follow some of the main deer trails in here and see what I can find. Also, further down, it does open up a bit. There's some active horse pasture down there. So I'll head down that way too and see if maybe in some of that more grassy stuff I can find something. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of keep moving through this and see what I can find. The nice thing about it too, I've only been in here once or twice ever. And it's kind of nice to come in and get the lay of the land a little bit. I do have some stands up a ways up the ridge and can kind of overlook some of this, but you don't really see a whole lot in here. You might catch a flash of a tail or something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep cruising through here and stay on the main deer trails and see if I can find something. As you can see, you can kind of pick your way through, and there are some pretty good trails through here. I see, you know, a decent amount of dirt churned up where they've been walking. Probably used these trails for a long time. And then it does open up here and there. I'm getting close to the property boundary up here. There's a cornfield up there. This property does take in a little bit of the cornfield, but it's only like an acre or less, so not much. And then it kind of skirts this edge and the property line runs down. So I'm getting kind of close to that now. I'm gonna kind of turn and follow that down. I'm continuing to cruise down through this stuff here, this old pasture and thick, nasty brush. And one of the things I noticed here is this would be like a classic spot where I would imagine they could drop an antler if a buck's coming through here. Here's a barbed wire fence. You can see where they jump over it. And there's also some branches and apple type brush over the top. So I'd think if a buck was coming through here and he was close to shedding, this would be a prime spot for him to jump this fence, get his antler, jar his antler loose. It doesn't seem to be the case today. Actually, I haven't, obviously I guess I would show you guys, but I haven't found anything in here yet. I am gonna do a little more searching this way, and then I'm gonna head down straight over that ridge to the south that you can see. That's still on the property, and I'm gonna go down in there where those white pines are is the spot I was talking about before, where I found a whole bunch of rubs, and there's some open grass and stuff in between here and there, so I'm gonna check that out. But this is it's kind of neat. I would expect, you know, this could be a really good spot. I'm not finding anything yet, but I'm still optimistic that I'm gonna scoop something up here. I'm gonna keep on looking. The nice thing, I guess, too, is I've learned a lot already today. I've seen a bunch of rubs and scrapes and just a bunch of deer sign, kind of get a lay of the land a little bit better too. So it's kind of nice. It's been a really good day so far. Now hopefully I can just scoop up a couple sheds to show you guys. But hang with me. This just proves that you don't know what you're gonna find out here. Doesn't look like a terrible boot, although it looks like it might have a leak and maybe something living in it. But if a guy was low a shoe out here, hey, whip that thing on, make it back to the car. Probably save you a sore foot. Or maybe not. Might pick something up. But yeah, it's kind of funny. I just thought that was interesting. I'm still in the horse pasture. I'm just about out now. And then I'm gonna cruise down and check that bedding area. So we'll go see what we got there. Once again, here's another dead deer. Seems like I'm good at finding these, or unlucky, maybe is a better word for it. This one though, I did know about last fall. I did see it during gun season. I don't know if somebody wounded it or what, but it was a small doe. There's not much left of it now. But by the time I saw it, it was already half eaten, you know, during gun season. I think it probably was either shot or hit or caught by something back during bow season, probably beginning in November. But yeah, it's unfortunate finding this stuff. I don't know, I guess that we do have quite a few deer on the property, so that's a good thing. But you know, you don't like finding them dead like this. It's just not a good way, not a good way for them to go. Don't really know what caused it. But yeah, down in here here's some of the little bit better spots I'm gonna kind of cruise through and take a look at. Oh, there goes another rabbit. Seems like tons of those. I did see a few places where they got eaten recently. I suppose coyotes and whatever else, foxes, whatever else is in here could really have a heyday. Owls. But we'll work our way up here. Here's a good example of what I was talking about with the rubs in here. I'm not seeing as many as I have in the past. I mean, maybe one of these is old, but here's a fresh one from this past year. You can see it's just shredded. There's just shreds of stuff on the ground. Hammered it. There's another one there. Almost every tree in here has been rubbed in the past. There's a lot of old rub activity. Every year it's just hammered. I'm not sure. I guess it's just a good spot for them to come do some rubs. These trees are perfect for it. And it's close. I think they bed in here as well. That's kind of neat. No sheds yet though. I've been kind of looking. I'm not sure how much time they spend in here in the winter time. There's really not a lot of good food close by. I mean, they can browse, which I guess is good. But I think the snow, this is a kind of a north side of a ridge here, and I think the snow stays pretty thick. Well, I'm pretty positive. I mean, you can see there's still some on the ground here, whereas almost everywhere I've been today has been free of snow. So I think that they just probably don't spend as much time in here during the winter as they do in the fall. But I'm still finding rubs. There's some up here. It looks like a scrape or something there. Here's some old ones. I mean, this is probably one of the spots where I just stood and counted like 30. There's another one there. But the number of old ones is just crazy. This is some evidence here that this was an old dairy farm, I think. This cow skull and these bones have been here for a long, long time. I couldn't even venture to guess how long, but I know ever since I've been back here for 5 or 6 years, I mean, they've looked like this. They're probably, I have no idea, 20 years old. It's kind of neat. The first time I saw it, I could see bones here. I thought, oh boy, here we go, here's something. And then as soon as I got closer, I realized the size of this skull, and I could tell that was definitely not a deer skull. That thing's humongous. But I did find a shed right back here once, just up the hill here. So I'm gonna work that and start working my way back. It's been kind of disappointing so far, not finding any sheds today. I really expected to find something in there, but you got to be where the deer were just a month ago or so. It just doesn't look like the deer were in there as much as I thought. But yeah, I'm gonna head back and check some other really good spots on the way out and see what we can find. Whew, I'm out of breath. I was just grinding up a big hill, but getting close to, I'm back on the main part of the farm here again and working my way out, but I couldn't pass up showing you all this rub here. This is another Magnum rub, and it's just shredded, just ripped up. I like seeing all those shreds hanging there. That's cool. Definitely, probably a good deer, I'm guessing, made this. We're in close proximity to another cornfield that borders the property on the south, and I figured this would be another pretty good spot to look through here. I know it gets pretty good amount of deer activity. Judging by that rub, bucks are in here at some point. Wow, that's a pretty good rub. I've seen, I think just today even, some that were that size almost, but this guy's really shredded, kind of neat. All the bark hanging. But I'm gonna cruise up through this and see if I can find something, and then start working my way back to the truck and heading home for the day. I've got some other things going on later today. But I will be back out again real soon. So I'll have more shed hunting videos coming up. And then right after that, it's gonna be food plot season. Also fishing season's coming up. So that'll be good. But hang with me here, we're gonna keep digging around. I'm only about 30 yards from that last rub I just showed you, and here's just another Magnum. I mean, these are good sized rubs. This is just ripped up. He definitely came through here and did a little damage. And here's another one. I mean, that's these are some megas. I like seeing that. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm not sure what deer could have made them if I had one on camera that I think did. I'm sure there were some decent bucks on camera last year that definitely could have made these rubs. But I don't know. It's kind of exciting. I hope some of those decent deer made it through. I know from the sheds I got on the north side of the farm, there's definitely going to be some nice deer this year. I don't think I picked up anything that was 3 years old yet. I think those were all 2-year-olds, but real nice ones. I'm really excited to see some of those, especially the one with the stickers and fork G2. He'll be kind of a neat deer. I'll have a thing for those kind of unique racks and non-typicals, so it'll be kind of cool to see what he turns into. I'm hoping to get him on camera. I think I had a bunch of pictures of him right at the end of, or in December, end of December, beginning of January. So hopefully he shows up again once they start forming antlers. Well, I think I may have just found the first shed, and it's not a very good one, but I'll take it. Actually, I don't know if I'll even take it. This guy here is old. He is chewed up and beat up and weathered. It's got some cool character just because it's probably been laying here a long time. It's underneath a big white pine tree, and around here is a lot of thick, nasty stuff. So probably should have checked here a couple years ago. I know I've looked under this thing before, but it's been a while. And yeah, kind of cool. This is a really old shed. Well, at least I wasn't skunked today though. I thought I was gonna get skunked. I've still got a little bit of stuff to look over on the way back to the truck, but yeah, that's a good find. I don't know, I may just leave him here. I think the rodents and stuff have been working on him enough. I'm gonna put him back, and maybe I'll check again in another year or two and see what happens to him. See how long it takes for him to disappear. Kind of neat though. Good. Well, that's one shed at least. I'm not, like I said, I'm not skunked. Well, everybody, made it back to the truck. Came up a little empty-handed on the sheds. We did find that one really old one that was chewed up, and I left that one in the woods for the rodents to have fun with. But we covered a lot of ground today. I think my watch was telling me 5.5 miles, something like that. So I did a lot of walking, and it was a success from the fact that I found a ton of rubs, some really nice ones, and a bunch of scrapes, and just a lot of deer sign. Kind of learned a lot more again, and you know, plus I got good exercise and was out in the beautiful weather here. If you guys made it this far into the video, I appreciate you guys sticking with me here. And hopefully, you know, I got a bunch more stuff coming up. I got some, well, I shouldn't say hopefully I've got more stuff coming up. I do have a bunch more stuff coming up. I'll still be out shed hunting a bunch. I have a bunch of places to go, and thanks to you guys, I've got a bunch of good tips on that other farm with the cornfield. So I'm gonna probably get back there again and try to scope that out a little bit better now that I've got a little more knowledge about how to shed hunt it. That said, that's gonna do it for today. Hope you guys are having a great day. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Take care, have a great day.